Hey guys, welcome back to TH Sports. Now I'm coming to you guys today in some breaking news, and that's that Deandre Ayton, the former number one pick for the 2018 NBA draft, and the Phoenix Suns have not agreed to a rookie extension contract. So what does this mean for the Suns? What does this mean for Deandre Ayton? Or what does this mean for the NBA? We'll stick around to find out. So like I said before, reported by Adrian Wojnarowski, Suns talks with Deandre Ayton on rookie extension have ended, without a deal. Ayton expected max contract and owner Robert Sarver hasn't offered it. More coming on consequences for failing to reach a deal with the 2018 number one overall draft pick. So essentially here, it says that Phoenix Suns didn't want to offer Ayton the max contract. Ayton and his team believe that he deserves the max and nothing less, and neither side will concede to this. This leads to Ayton potentially leaving the Suns after this season. So, what happens now? Well, since Ayton and the Suns didn't reach a deal, this means at the end of the upcoming season, I know this season hasn't even started yet, Deandre Ayton will enter restricted free agency. Restricted free agency basically means that any team in the NBA can offer him a deal. However, if Suns want to match that, they can keep Ayton in their books. But they've really done Ayton dirty here, because this will leave so much more guaranteed money on the table that could have gone to Ayton. For a 5-year max rookie extension deal, Ayton could have gotten 25% of the expected team's cap from the 2022-2023 season, at around $172.5 million over the 5 years. If it was to have a stellar season this year and make an All-NBA team, that could even rise to $207 million over the 5-year period. So assuming that Ayton doesn't make an All-NBA team, if he signed the max deal, he would have a guaranteed $172.5 million over the 5 years. It's worth noting that a 5-year contract, a player must be offered the max. Now since that Phoenix didn't want to offer the max, they could only sign him on a 4-year deal at a guaranteed $133.3 million over the period. That's already leaving about $40 million on the table, left out. Plus, they'll try and cut that probably even further since they didn't want to offer him the max in the first place. So who knows how much of a low blade they could have really taken. Now admittedly, there are only 6 centers in the league that are on max type money. And the list is quite exclusive, including the likes of Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, and Bam Adebayo. These guys are the cream of the crop when it comes to NBA centers. And is Ayton in the same stratosphere as those guys? Not yet, or I don't think so in how he's being used. Deandre Ayton is the third scoring option on the Sun, and there's no doubt about it. But that's only because he has guys like Devin Booker and Chris Paul who need the ball in their hands to make an impact on the game. Chris Paul is still a decent defender, but not the same as he was before. I think that goes to show how impactful Ayton really is. He's an amazing rebounder, has improved tremendously on the defensive end, and those weren't even the main reasons why he got drafted as the number one pick. He has versatility on the offensive end. He can score in many different ways, and he still hasn't reached his potential in that yet. But still scoring 14 points on 62% shooting and increasing that to 16 points on 66% shooting as a third option. I mean, he was ranked 12th for win shares in the whole NBA as a 22-year-old who was the third option on his team. He hasn't even reached his potential yet, and these are solid numbers. Now yes, you might expect more from a max contract player, but he hasn't even been given consistent chances to show that he can be the max player for the Suns. So why have the Suns not signed Ayton to a max contract? But not only that, they have signed players with lesser roles on decent money that leaves less for Ayton. From what I can gather, the Suns owner is a quote-unquote tight ass. He doesn't want to pay over the luxury tax. The Phoenix Suns haven't paid over the luxury tax since the 2009-2010 season. That's right, the days when Steve Nash was the star starting point guard and not the coach for the Nets. Coincidentally, they haven't made the playoffs since that season. Since obviously the 2021 playoffs. They have 1 year left with Ayton on his rookie contract and have a 35-year-old Chris Paul and a great scorer, but really that's it, and Devin Booker as the ones to lead them to a championship. They see that as the now, and honestly in my opinion, if they don't make a run this year and fail to sign Ayton in the offseason, I think they can kiss their chances goodbye of winning anytime soon. It just makes no sense why they aren't throwing money at Ayton. So what's going to happen for Ayton now? Well, firstly, he'll be playing for the Phoenix Suns for this upcoming season, barring a trade. Once the season is done, he'll go into restricted free agency. Like I said before, restricted free agency means that any team that can afford his asking price, which will most likely be around that 25% max, can send an offer and the Suns can decide if they want to match it. Combined by them not wanting to sign Ayton the max already, with fears of the owner having to pay the luxury tax, this could lead to Ayton having a fresh start at a new team. So what could some of the possible destinations be for Ayton if Suns don't decide to match the offers from the other teams? Well, according to this article by Sam Quinn, link will be in the description, there are only 3 teams that could afford him at this current stage. These teams are the Orlando Magic, Detroit Pistons, and San Antonio Spurs. First of all, there's Orlando Magic, which really isn't a fascinating destination. Sorry Orlando fans. They currently have Wendell Carter Jr. and Mo Bamba as their bigs who they could possibly extend the contracts. Obviously, there's no doubt that Ayton will be a massive upgrade, but would he really want to go there? Next up are Detroit Pistons. Pistons actually could be a really nice fit for Ayton. They have Cade Cunningham, who I think would be an absolute monster for them, and have some nice pieces around them like Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, and Jeremiah Grant. Throw Ayton in the mix and you could have a really nice young core that could potentially grow together. Lastly are the Suns, who are in the midst of a rebuilding stage, and with Popovich most likely retiring in the next couple of years, I think Spurs will be looking at rebuilding fresh rather than trying to pick up a player here and there. So out of all those teams, I think Detroit would be the most likely destination for Ayton. But personally, I think teams will move pieces around to secure the talent of Ayton, and he won't be left with just those three options. In my opinion, if I was to make an ideal situation for what I think could be the best destination for Deandre Ayton, I think a move to the Dallas Mavericks could both benefit Ayton and the franchise. Could you imagine the pick and roll with Ayton and Luka Doncic? That would be insane and almost impossible to stop. I think the two play styles complement each other really well, and just thinking about it has me excited. But we don't want to think too far ahead, and instead, we'll just stick with the now. I think this will be a decision that the Phoenix Suns will come to regret. Deandre Ayton is a tremendous talent, and if they don't want to secure him, I'm 100% sure that many teams will move things around to secure his signature. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and have a good one. And what do you guys think of the whole Phoenix Suns Deandre Ayton fiasco? Well, let me know down below.